in the class. So I have this going on for boys and dogs. My verbal representation, well, would be what the story that goes with it. So there are boys and dogs playing in my backyard. I'll try to shorten it a little bit. There are boys and dogs playing. I'll just say they're playing. Okay. Altogether, there are 12 heads and 30 feet in the group. Altogether, there are 12 heads and 30 feet in the group. How many boys and how many dogs are there? How many boys and how many dogs are there? So there's my verbal representation. For a picture or a concrete example, I guess we could even act it out. But I won't have you come up to do that. But I guess I'm thinking about the little kids in a classroom. If you were doing something like this in the classroom, the kids could maybe act it out. For my picture, I'm just going to draw 12 circles. To represent the 12 heads. And then I'll do what a lot of you did, is I'll put on the lines for the feet. Well, I know with each head there's at least 2 feet. So this will represent the feet. So I would count the feet, and I would say, so far I have 24 feet. So I'm going to have to start adding some more feet till I get to 30 feet. So I'll start from the left here. There's 2 there, so that would be a dog. Let's see, I got to count. 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. I got it. There would be 3 dogs and 9 boys. If I'm going to do a table, that's kind of like the guess and check technique. So I would have on my table something like this. Boys, dogs, and then maybe a column for, and you have to kind of think about what the columns would be. I've thought about this problem longer than you've thought about the problem because I've taught the class before. So what I'm saying by that is, how do I know what columns to put? Sometimes you got to think about what columns you're going to put. So this column will be for the total number of heads, and then this one would be for the total number of feet. Now I know from the problem what I need to do is I need to end up with 12 heads and 30 feet. One of them I'm going to pick it to be exactly right, like the number of heads. I'll say there are 12 heads. So if, this could happen. Suppose there were 12 boys. Guess and check. if there were 12 boys, how many dogs? 0. Because I do want to match the 12 heads on this guess and check. And if I have that, 12 boys, how many feet would that be? 24. 12 times 2 is 24. 24 feet. Too low. I'm thinking Price is Right. Higher, lower. Well, the number of feet's too low. Well, maybe there are 11 boys, and that would leave how many dogs? 1 dog. That's 12 heads. For the total number of feet, 11 times 2, because each boy would have 2 feet, plus 1 times 4, for the dog having 4 feet, that's 22 plus 4 is 26, 26 feet. Well, that's too low. And you might at some point notice, hey, every time I decrease the number of boys and I increase the number of dogs, it kind of looks like I'm adding 2 feet. Kind of looks like that. Let's see if that's the case right here. 10 boys and 2 dogs, that's 12 heads. So 10 times 2 plus 2 dogs times 4 is 20 feet on the boys plus 8 feet on the dogs, 28 feet. Well, sometimes I skip around, but you know what? I'm not going to skip around, because what's going to happen on the next one? 9 boys and 3 dogs. On this one, I can say, bingo, I got it. Right? 9 times 2 plus 3 times 4. That's 18 plus 12, 30. There's the 30 feet. And at that point, I quit looking around for the answer. I found it in the table, so I can state the answer and then kind of move on. So there it is in a table representation. And again, the kind of the guess and check routine. On the next page, I'm going to show the equations, and then we'll look at the graphs.